Mine's a little different. I was at a corporate function and noticed that the president of the company was trying to clean his glasses with a paper napkin. Being the well-prepared person I am, I always keep a microfiber cloth in my pocket. I wear glasses too, and I prefer to actually clean the glasses, not just smudge the oils around. I digress. So I reach into my pocket, grab a cloth, and hand it to him. And he responds with a confused huh. Now, at this time I also have a son who is going through potty training, so I tended to keep spare clothes, usually in my backpack, but also in the pockets of my overcoat. I look over, and the president of my company is kind of staring at the unused, thank God, pair of Jake and the Neverland Pirates underwear, boy's size small, I just handed him. And of course, my immediate response wasn't to laugh, wasn't to say oh, those are my kids' backup pair, no. My response was to immediately say those aren't mine. Which was 1, obvious, and 2, not guilty sounding at all. My friend Anna was in her 20s, but she looked really young, easily as though she could be a minor. She had too much to drink at the bar, so I started carrying her home on my shoulders as she was having a really hard time walking. As we got to her house I went to let her down, and she fell off and smacked her head on the fence. She was wearing a skirt, and as she fell it went up to her waist. I'm trying to get her to come to, so she can go in her house, when an old lady walks out on her porch and starts screaming, "What are you doing to that little girl? Where are her clothes?" I try to calmly explain that this is her house, and I'm just a friend trying to get her home, but she just keeps shouting, "Where are her clothes? What have you done to her?" She won't come to, and I realize just how bad the situation looks, so I tell the old lady we can call an ambulance. As I tell my friend we are about to call an ambulance, she immediately comes to and fixes her skirt and stands up. The old lady says, "Oh, you were right, I guess she had clothes the whole time." I work at a school portrait company. I retouch thousands of images and sometimes I need to retouch inappropriate things. Well, this high school girl was wearing a see-through shirt, and I had to retouch out her nipples. I was in the office by myself as a 20-something-year-old man, when a girl walks in, and sees me zoomed in on this high school girl's see-through shirt. I can explain. I told her I'm not a creep, I'm just retouching her shirt, so you can't see her nipples. It was very awkward, but since she worked as a photographer she completely understood once I explained. As a broke college kid, one of my go-to meals was a $0.69 chili dog from 7-Eleven, which was 4 blocks from my dorm. I had no car. One winter's night, I bundled up in my heavy coat, gloves, and beanie and went to get Missile 1. So I'm heading back, holding my foil-wrapped dinner, and decide to run, to get out of the cold faster. Next thing I know, a cop car screeches to a halt in front of me, and I'm ordered to the ground. Spent the next couple minutes explaining to NJPD why I'm running out of a convenience store at night in a ski mask, waving a shiny metal object. TL/DR. Suspected assault with a deadly wiener. This happened in high school, shortly after I started dating my first boyfriend. At the time, I would often wear a camisole with a built-in bra, layered under a v-neck tee. One day, I was wearing this outfit, but wanted to go shopping after school for other shirts, so I brought a regular bra with me to try stuff on. After I got out of the store, I for some reason didn't want to put the bra in my bag, so I put it in the armrest compartment between the front seats of my dad's car, and of course immediately forgot it was there. The next day, my parents were getting ready to go somewhere. They had left the house, but moments later my mom barged back in, demanding to know why I was taking off my clothes in the car. I frantically tried to explain the clothes shopping story, but to this day I'm not sure she bought it. What's your worst? I know this looks bad, but I can explain moment. Oh man. Brings back memories. I worked at a studio that would do any kind of photography, mostly family portraits, school, and weddings, but we had the occasional Playboy wannabe, even some weird couple stuff, etc. I got a call one day from a guy asking if we would book him dancing naked around the studio. I was very discreet and professional, no big deal, and started giving him a rundown of studio rates. Turns out it was my big brother prank calling me. He was so disgusted and freaked out. Sister came home to her boyfriend and our brother laying his head in his lap. Her BF was holding him in his lap and stroking his head and back. She was confused, and as soon as she opened her mouth her BF turned around. "Oh hey, be quiet, he just fell asleep." Apparently my brother got food poisoning and was throwing up constantly. Her BF showed up to return some things she left at his house. So being him, he helped our brother get some medicine from the store, change, and stroked his head on the couch till he fell asleep. It took a while, since he was always getting up to throw up. We all laugh about it now. Years ago I was dating this girl, and I had just acquired a black powder gun. Now for those of you who don't know, one of the parts on many of the black powder guns is called a nipple, and usually require a wrench to get off. Mine didn't have this wrench, so I punched in Rouge a nipple wrench into Google and went downstairs to grab a drink. When I come back into her room, she's looking at my laptop, wide-eyed and nervously says I don't know if I would be into that. Cue my reaction of what? No. Wait, it's a gun tool thing, I swear. Edit. I can English, I promise. When my daughter was around 3 years old, she casually told my wife that daddy likes to come into my room naked and play with me. It took a minute to realize what she was talking about. A few weeks prior to that, she had woken up screaming. Bad dream, I'm guessing. I jump out of bed wearing nothing but boxer briefs to see what the problem was. To get her to stop crying, I tried to make her laugh. Luckily, my wife believed me